music. Do you know that part by heart, honey? The introduction.
Live from one of the Public Access Studios, it's Miss Rocky and Shaviva's Northend Update Live, bringing you the good stuff from a Northend perspective. We see the good, we share the good, and it's making us all look good. Today's guests are farmer Mike Cook and historian and former country auditor Grant Veeder. You know what time it is.
Boom shakalaka! Yay! Welcome. Thank you, Violet. We'll put that right over here like we always do. Our wonderful announcer, Violet Martin, and she's my granddaughter. We want to talk to you and welcome you to our show. Whether you've been with us for a little bit or a long time, we have a Friday motivation for you.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we have a Friday motivation, and it is everyone you meet is fighting a battle, and you don't know anything about it, so be kind.
Yes, it costs you nothing.
That's right. I'm Rocky.
And I'm Shaviva, and this is Northend
End
Update.
Shout
Hey.
out to our very special frequent viewers, which is brought to you by Waterloo Center for the Arts. Who are they, Shaviva?
Hey, Patricia Harris. Hey, Patty.
Hey, Patty. Mwah.
Michael Irvin.
Yes.
Carolyn Salas. Darvell James.
Yes, Karen Phillips, hey girl. Mike Seavey, he makes those cards. He's so nice.
Okay.
And Lynette Jordan over there at Roth Jewelers. Tim Fees, thank you so much for watching.
Okay, and folks, if you're watching us live right now, hey, how you doing?
Yes, and if you're
Okay.
watching us on MediaCom Channel 17, then hello, because we're going to see you next week. So we're looking at you in the future right now.
Right, so that's Hello Future.
Yes, and if you're watching us on MediaCom, we want you to email us and let us know that you're watching us, and you'll get a special gift. We have a coffee book, a coffee cup, or a coffee book.
Okay.
You can read the book while you're doing coffee because it's this book, Shaviva.
Oh,
if you email
wow.
us and tell us you're watching us on MediaCom Channel 17 every Friday, because we know you set your clocks for Saturday mornings too, right? You'll get a copy of this wonderful Freedom is Beautiful book. And that's wrapping up our Black History Month, February, right?
Okay, that's right. The last day of
Awesome.
February just zooms by so fast.
Right.
Anyway, our
NorthendUpdate@gmail.com.
yes, indeed. Our talking point today is choose your circle wisely, because the right people will uplift you and the wrong ones will drag you down.
Yes, they will stay away from the wrong ones. And our Give It Air discussion today will be, when did these, we're going to talk to our guests about both of these questions.
Yes.
When did the narratives change on DEI and woke? We want to know what part of these words that should be words that we embrace, how all of a sudden it means bad
like,
stuff.
yeah, something
We're not
bad.
supposed to look at it as bad. Or, in other words, a lot of times people just think of black when they hear those words. So we're going to talk about that too.
All right, go ahead and
All
tell
right. And we got a news flash because Grant Veeder can count the audits and he can sing.
it. Okay.
Right? I heard. And Mike,
Okay.
you know he goes to church. You know? Okay.
I don't sing very well.
You know,
Okay.
we're going to find out. We have some comments from Violet.
Lloyd Howard says, hello, ladies, have a good show.
Oh,
Hey,
Floyd,
Floyd.
we love you, boss. How you doing out there?
Okay.
All right, and we're going to introduce our guests right now. Let's
Yes.
talk to them about our wonderful Soul Town magazine and see
All
what they got
right.
to say.
Yes.
Yay!
All right.
Welcome to you both, Grant Veeder.
Thank you.
Yes, and Michael, thank you so much for being with us today.
Yes, well,
Yeah.
we like to talk about the Soul Town, and I see they got a new one for, is it Mardi Gras?
Oh my goodness, no.
Oh, no, you know what? Some
this
hometown
is-
fellas. Did you
yes,
see this?
indeed. This is Parliament Funkadelic.
Oh my goodness, we got to get these two
Yes.
on the show. We got Ron Turner, and everybody know he's Master P Funk, right?
And Rodney Frost.
And
These are some
Rodney.
hard time hardcore funkadelic folks.
Yes.
And apparently been following them for a number of years, and they are the cover story. They love
Funkadelic.
George Clinton
Yeah.
and funkadelic.
Yeah, and if you know, you know.
That's
You know,
right.
you
This
don't
is
know
a
nothing about George
great
Clinton?
magazine.
Bootsy Collins.
A little bit, tiny
No?
bit.
Okay.
This is a great magazine started by Cherie Nelson. Cherie Kaba. Excuse me.
Yes, yes.
And it just covers such a range of topics. There's recipes, there's advice, there's stuff like Parliament Funkadelic, One Nation Under a Groove. And you can find something in here that you will really love and enjoy, and you can get either a hard copy like this from Earth's Beauty Supply at 704 Franklin Street, or you can go online and get it from thesoultownmagazine.com.
That's right. Wherever you get it, you want to get it because there's a lot of good stuff, and you can actually watch this show if you click play on the virtual version.
That's right.
So, Grant, see, you can go see yourself again because you'll be in the Soul Town.
Oh boy.
Right, exactly. That's what we're talking about. Okay, so we're going to talk about our talking point today, which is what, Shaviva? What is our talking point?
Choose your circle
There you go.
wisely.
Yeah, that's
The right people will uplift you, the wrong ones will drag you down. You know.
Okay. So, what do you want to say about that? We got Mike and Grant. You get to go first because G comes before M.
Well,
What do you think about your people?
Those are very wise words, and it reminds me that I just retired, and so I went recently for my annual physical, and I talked to my doctor. I said, "Do you have advice about what I should do when I'm retired?" And one of the things he made a big point of was make sure that you keep up your social contacts. It's a problem when people aren't working anymore and they don't see the same people that they used to, and sometimes they kind of turn inward, and that's not always a good thing if they aren't staying socially active. So this puts the right spin on it. You don't just want to be socially active, you want to be active with the right people. Like you say, people that uplift you, and not only uplift you, but uplift society as a whole and other people. And my wife Kim and I are very fortunate that we have a number of circles of friends that we see on a fairly regular basis. Some people we see every week, some people we see just about every month.
Have you been going through weeding them out? Because the comment says the wrong ones will drag you down. Do you have any of those wrong ones that just want to go?
I hope not.
Okay.
I hopefully we don't need a lot of new friends because fortunately at our advanced age we've made lots of good friends, and mostly we've been able to keep the good ones because they're very important to us and very dear to us, and a lot of the reason why is because of the kind of people that they are, and they are the kind of people that raise up society and try to make positive impacts.
Wonderful. Great words. Yes. Well, thank you. What do you got for Grant or for Mike over there? What do you think about that, Mike?
I agree with everything he just said.
Okay.
But I look at that first term there that says choose your circle wisely. Well, I don't know, throughout my life, sometimes I didn't choose the circle chose me.
Okay, there's that part.
And if the people in that circle, after they choose you, aren't correct, then you can start to do your sorting process, I think, to that extent. But I try to be as friendly as I can to everyone. My life is pretty busy most of the time. And I want to thank you, Shaviva, for mentioning that I'm just not a farmer.
Oh, yes, you're so much
for
more.
sure, yes.
Yeah. But a lot of people in our community, they see you at the farmer's market and they might think that that's what you do, but you reminded me, I think on our phone call recently, that you teach at Hawkeye, is Hawkeye Community College, and I know you wear a number of hats.
Well, and it all goes back to my upbringing here. And part of what you're talking about, surrounding yourself with that correct circle. For me, it was the community here in Waterloo. They make you who you are if you get the right people in your circle.
That's right. And you
So
grew up here.
I'm
in
an East High grad,
Is that right?
Southern University grad with a Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering
Oh,
and
my.
a Master's in Industrial Technology from the University of Northern Iowa.
Wow.
So
And
it's
your education was at
UNI as well.
UNI
Yeah.
as well,
Yeah.
but you're from a small town.
Yeah,
local,
I grew up in Boone and
Yeah.
went to UNI,
I gotta
studied
get to
English and history.
Oh, nice. English and history. No
Yeah.
wonder. It all shows, right?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
And in fact, both of you really shine brightly in your own respective ways. With the engineering, I mean, you can tell you're so smart.
Well, I don't know whether it has to do with
Some
anything with
people-
being smart.
I didn't go to college, and I often say some people have diplomas and degrees and stuff, but I'm just really smart. So You know, I
Don't
didn't.
need a degree if you're smart.
That's
There
right.
you go.
Life
Absolutely.
lessons has taught me quite a bit.
Yep.
Shaviva, on the other hand, is very well educated as well. So I like hanging. This
You
is
and
my
I.
circle.
You and I.
Right?
Yeah.
These are the circles I hang out with. That's why I get so smart, see, because I hang around educated people.
There
So you
you go.
choose your circle wisely.
I try.
Okay.
I try. How about you, Chevy? What do you got to
Well,
say about that?
Hopefully, that's something that we learn from our mistakes or from not choosing at a young age, so that by the time you get up in some age, that's not as much of a problem, because you'd hate to find yourself at retirement age still having to, weed out the,
Yes.
bad apples,
Absolutely.
the
The
chaff,
bad
whatever
apples,
you want to
oh
call
my.
them.
Yeah.
And you know, there are so many in that category, though, that don't learn that lesson. What about you, Lori? What do you think? You got a good circle? Because we're in it. You better say yes.
That's right.
I actually
Loaded
got
question.
several great, not good, but great circles that helped me grow and be a better Lori. So
There you
yes,
go.
Love
I'm
that,
blessed.
don't you?
Thank you. That's from our director, Lori. What about you, Ed? Mr. What is he? He's our producer. What do? You got some good people to hang around?
He said he's good.
He's good, and I know Agnes keeps good company. She got all those raccoons that lived on her porch, right?
I hear her back there laughing.
Okay, we love you, Agnes. Okay, now we're going to talk about our Give It Ear. We don't necessarily need you guys to comment, but we really want to dissect these words. When did the narratives change? DEI, we'll start with DEI and woke. So with diversity, what is the question that we're kind of posing to our viewers?
Well, see, sometimes what happens is you'll hear a term or a catchphrase, and sometimes people associate that with something negative without really taking a closer look at what it actually stands for.
And there have been so many programs that have been cut. We just wanted to kind of figure out what in the world are they thinking,
Yeah.
because what would you not like to know?
Right, because DEI, which people hear that, DEI, it stands for diversity, equity, and inclusion. Diversity is the presence of a variety of people or things.
Right. Who wouldn't or doesn't want that?
Right.
That's all I want to ask.
Equity
Yeah.
is fairness and justice, recognizing that we don't all start from the same place. Who's got a problem with that, really?
Right. That we can't all, it's not like
Yeah.
pie. If you have equity, it doesn't mean somebody gets less. So we wanted to just put that out there. Who
Yeah.
doesn't like that? Why wouldn't you?
Right. Inclusion, providing equal access to opportunities and resources for people who might otherwise be excluded.
And people that have been historically excluded.
Right, and that includes, see, when you look at these things, sometimes people look at DEI and they automatically think black people, okay?
It's just a fact. It's true. Some people do look at that.
Inclusion includes not just people of different ethnicities and stuff, it includes people who have different abilities. I mean, like perhaps
Learning
someone,
abilities.
the ramp on the sidewalk that allows a person in a wheelchair to have access. That's part of inclusion. Somebody got a problem with that?
Right.
You know?
And so we just wanted to break those words down. And then to the definition of woke, we want to explain is being politically and socially aware and attentive. So who doesn't want to be that? But since the narrative has changed, we're going to have a new hashtag. Neener, neener, neener. It's going to be stay awake.
There
That's
you
going to
go.
be it. If you guys want to help us carry that out, because we just want you to always be politically and socially aware.
Right, and
Okay.
we just wanted to shine a little light on that because sometimes when you give it air,
It's
That's
the
the
best,
best.
disinfectant.
that's right.
Okay, moving on. We're off our soapbox now.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So we got some great questions for our guests. What do you have for Grant, Shaviva?
All right, Grant, for people who don't know who you are and who the capacity you've been in for the past, 30-some years, just tell our audience a little bit about yourself.
Well, I mentioned earlier that I grew up in Boone, Iowa, and then I went to the University of Northern Iowa, and I finished my master's degree in 1979, and then in 1981 I went to work for Blackhawk County and was the Deputy Commissioner of Elections for 6 years, and then I did some other work in the auditor's office, and then when my predecessor, Isabel Frericks, retired, I ran for county auditor in 1988, and I kept running every 4 years until I completed my 9th term this last December. So
What did you like so much about being county auditor that kept you there? I mean, was it because you knew the ropes so well, or I mean, and you just enjoyed being?
Well, there's a lot of things that drew me to the job. I think a real basic thing is just the fact that I like public service. I think that's important, and I felt that I was doing something for my community in that role. And also the things that are involved in that office, and there are a lot of different responsibilities in the auditor's office. A couple of the main ones are elections and property tax and real estate. And you know, especially elections, that's a very high profile job, and it's something that has been, you know, a lot of worry about it in the last several years.
Sure.
And I felt that it was important to do my best to educate the public, to know that what we were doing in elections was proper, and we were protecting their right to vote and protecting the actual vote. And you know, I talk about soapboxes. I could go
Oh,
on
honey,
for,
don't get on that one, because I know
get
it's
going
a
for
lot.
a long time. But
Once you got the political thing, yeah.
But then there were other aspects of it, like I say, the property tax and real estate was another area that I got involved in before I became auditor. And those are duties that, with the size of that office, you get a lot of those duties delegated to other people. So I wasn't hands-on with those jobs for a lot of the time, but I had excellent people that were doing that work, and I was managing the office and still being involved somewhat. So
There was a lot that kept you in there. So talk about, we gotta talk about your real love, and why did you fall in love and want to portray, to the point where you wanted to portray. You see where I'm going? Hey, we done got off that soapbox you was trying to be on, because we're going to talk about Abraham Lincoln.
Okay.
The great emancipator. Is that what we can call her and call him?
It's fair to call him the great emancipator.
Okay.
I got involved with studying Abraham Lincoln when I was in graduate school, getting a degree in history. But then I got very involved at the time of the bicentennial of Lincoln's birth back in 2009, and there was a 2-year celebration, and there was an Iowa Abraham Lincoln Bicentennial Commission, and I was fortunate enough to be appointed to that commission.
Wow.
And so I started doing a lot more research than I had done before, and I've kind of continued that on, so that I've been doing presentations, and mostly just presentations about Lincoln.
Yeah.
I did end up getting talked into portraying Lincoln in
I think I saw a picture. We shared it.
It's available on YouTube if you want to see it. But I mostly I just completed giving a class on an aspect of Lincoln's career, talked about Lincoln and his law career, that I did for a program through the University of Northern Iowa, their lifelong university program. And so I was able to teach a short class on that.
What did you like about him so much? And this is our last question in closing. What drew you to Abraham Lincoln and actually want you to take his whole persona? What did you like about him?
He's you can't find a better role model in history, I think. You know, he wasn't perfect, and none of us are perfect.
Right.
And I think we can understand through him that even if you're not perfect, you can accomplish great things. And I don't necessarily see myself as accomplishing great things on the level that he did, but you know, this is somebody who had compassion and intelligence and self-reflective and things that I think are important in you know, anybody's daily life. And he used those attributes in a way that benefited the whole country.
In his circle and your circle, you want him to have that same thing. Were you going to say something, Shaviva? A lot of people.
Oh, no, I'm listening. I'm
Several
absorbing the
people would
conversation.
wonder why tie him into Black History Month. I mean, he's definitely a significant part, but there's a lot of other things that could be discussed, but we always run out of time. We're going to have to talk to you and just nothing but Abe Lincoln one day, because there's a lot to dissect and a lot.
There is,
Yeah.
and he deserves to be discussed in greater detail.
He certainly does. He certainly does. But it's always great to look at you. It looks like you're doing well.
Thank you.
You're in good health and enjoying your retirement.
Yes, I am. Thank you.
What are you doing with your spare time?
Well, like I say, I was toking that class, and it
That
took a lot of
class.
time to prepare, and so that just finished this week. It was just 4 sessions, and so now I'm got to figure out what I'm going to do every day in retirement. But
Stay out of Jill. What's your wife's name?
Pardon me?
What's your wife's name?
Kim.
Kim. Stay out of her hair. That's what you better do. Get out there and start raking and take care of that garden. I think she's got a list for you, right?
Yeah, well, probably.
Okay. Thank you so much, Grant.
Thank you.
You bet. And Mike.
Yes, absolutely, Mike. For the 3 or 4 people who may not know you or may not have seen you at the farmers market or may not have been a student in one of your classes, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, born and raised here in Waterloo. I've had many mentors throughout the years.
Okay.
One of them being Anime Weems, as a matter of fact. Somebody in here might know her
Yes,
very
likewise.
well.
Yes.
I worked 30 plus years at John Deere and retired. Had a number of different assignments when I was out there. I can't complain about that career at all. It was great. And had the opportunity to, as I was building that career, get involved with City Hall down here because we got a chance to build houses here. I've rehabbed homes here. I'm a landlord these days, so all of that because of the different things I've been able to do in the community. So that's another hat you probably don't even know about.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
One of the things that I really like about Waterloo, I had the opportunity to leave here several times, but I wouldn't because this is home, okay? And been able to raise some beautiful kids here. They're doing well. I got one that's a doctor here. She's out at Allen right now. And it's pretty neat. They come over and we can go out and have dinner together and talk about their daily things. And right now, my wife and I are retired, and we're having ourselves a ball every day. We get up and say, now what are we going to do today?
That's the best part, right?
Until farming season comes.
Then what?
Yeah, then I'm out of the picture because I got to get the stuff planted and get rolling. So
That was my next question. How long have you been farming? You say you spent
all my life.
Oh, okay.
My dad farmed, his
Okay.
dad farmed, and his dad's dad farmed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. See, now me being a Chicago person, I've been here a number of years, but not only is it a different experience for me as far as meeting or getting to know farmers, period, or being in close contact, but black farmers, that's a whole other thing for me, period. So it's something that's come down always, through your family, okay? What kind of advice would you give a young person that might be thinking about trying to get into farming?
Agriculture at any level,
Yeah.
maybe farming or
That's
harvesting.
something that's going to always pay the bills because people are always going to have to eat.
Okay.
But to go out and buy farmland and farm equipment right now, that's
my.
very, very challenging. Most of the farms now are not the small places like I do around 100 acres, and then we got
And
a
you
couple
call that
acres that we
small.
do for garden vegetables and stuff like that. That's not going to feed you. You're going to have 1,000 or 2,000 acres. And each acre of farmland in Iowa now is somewhere around $12,000 to $14,000 per acre.
Word, my goodness.
And
well,
going
you
up.
know all about that. It's being in the real estate and all that you were. So yeah.
And so that, I'm not saying it can't be done.
Yeah.
as soon as you say it can't happen, somebody will figure out how to make it happen.
Sure.
But it's difficult to get into farming now because of the expenses.
Wow, especially starting out, like you said, yours is a generational thing that was passed down, which is such a
Well,
blessing.
I didn't say it was passed
Oh
down.
no, it was your father. Your father was. Well, you didn't. Well,
Right.
My dad rented a lot of land,
Oh, I see.
and he had 10 acres of his own. But I don't know, he rented as much as 125 acres, I think, at one time, and times were different then. Excuse me.
Oh,
Technology was different.
sure.
And that's another thing, that with the changing technologies and the different type of equipment that you'd have to use, because we used to go to the field probably 6 times a year, maybe more. And now you got that cut down to like maybe 2 or 3 times a year.
Okay, but I mean the knowledge and everything that your father passed down
Yes.
was passed on
Absolutely.
to you for sure, and the power of knowing that you could do it, you know, and you've seen it done. So
Yes.
yeah, that was a real blessing to you.
He was my best coach.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I love
Different
it.
farming
I love
techniques
it.
that you're using now, perhaps, than what your father did, or is it pretty much the same?
No, it's very different.
Totally
Okay, I-
different, I bet.
I'm a no-till operation.
Oh.
So I don't have to spend the money for fuel. I've been able to cut back on my nitrogen fertilizer and input costs.
Sure.
There's a lot out there that we've been able to do. We're even looking at trying to get more than one crop off the same piece of land right
Love
now.
it. What do
And-
you want to tell our viewers about, in closing, I know you teach, what do you want people to know about you, or how can they access something that you really want them to know? You know, like is there a class that you want people to join in that you're teaching, or
Well-
what do you want our viewers to know about Mike Cook?
Yes, because one of the reasons why I teach now, because like Grant, I'm retired, but one of the reasons why I do is because I feel like I'm giving back to the community that helped me get where I am.
You see
Okay?
that? That's what you're
That's
doing too.
that's the way it feels.
Yeah.
And so I continue to teach, and during that teaching I get a chance to do some counseling. So some of the people that are out there that are retired, there's places like Hawkeye, there's places probably like you and I that could use that expertise.
Sure.
And
That's right.
we've been able to go into the classroom, and I'm not trying to brag when I say that, but we go into the classroom and we can take what's in the book and bring it to life because we've experienced it
Right.
versus just going by what's in the book.
That's right. That hands-on means so much, and I'm sure that you experienced the same thing. And wanting, after having such a great career, both of you, to be able to give back has to mean a lot,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah. And Grant, we really missed you on our Tones Awards night. Grant,
And I wanted to thank you. I hadn't had a chance to thank you in person until
Oh.
today, but thank you very much for the honor of that award.
Oh yes, it was definitely our honor. And
Yes.
he remember the video he made?
Yes,
that
I
was
remember.
so cool. We
Yes.
were able to show your video,
Good.
and you did thank us quite adequately, and we loved it.
Mm-hmm.
And I could see awards coming for you soon because you're pretty special too. And it's so hard to pick so many great people in our community, but yeah.
But how
we just-
fortunate are we that that's even who?
Right.
Because we know so many wonderful people doing wonderful things. So,
Right. Well, thank you
Yes.
both for being here. We never have enough time, but we try to cut through different things to give us enough time. But we can never forget our wonderful birthday people.
for sure.
Yes, we got the best birthday people because we have the best viewers and the best guests and the best everybody.
All right, our birthday greetings are brought to you by Deuce Entertainment,
Yes.
and they are Gretchen Garens,
Woo!
Curtis
Yes.
Washington,
Woo!
Gladys Benavides,
All right.
Anita Clark,
Hey, Anita.
Tiana Smart,
Tiana.
Felicia
yes.
Williams.
All right.
All right.
And Willie June Harrington. Go on, Mr. Auditor. Who else?
Nathan Anderson,
Yes.
right.
Oh, Nate.
Yes.
Marion Turner,
Yes.
Robert Perkins,
Okay, let's let you do a couple. Can you read the last two?
I know that one.
You know
Clint
that
Shepard.
guy?
Yeah, I
Clint
know
Shepard.
him. Yeah.
Yay, Clint.
And then Leroy Sis.
yes,
right.
we all got in on it. Now
Great
comes
birthday people, yes.
the best birthday people, the best singers, because he can count and he can farm, and y'all gonna sing
And we
today.
can, we can all sing loud. If you can't sing good, sing loud.
I'm
Yeah.
sure
Yes.
you would agree
It wouldn't fit more perfectly
than to have a world party.
on the day you came to
It's
be.
your
Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday, happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Woo! All
Y'all
right.
was holding it down. I'm
right.
surprised. These guys were really saying
It
well.
always surprises me. We make it all the way through.
And you said you couldn't sing. I heard you. Okay. Well, you sang today and you did a great job. Thank you so much. You guys have made this show very exciting for us because we never know how it's going to go. And I know that it's always good to hear from what men are doing, and especially when you retire. I'm so glad we could catch up with you. Tell Kim
Thanks
to
for the opportunity.
tell her to keep posting those pictures. I love your
Okay.
gardens.
All right. Well,
Yes.
she does the garden. I post the pictures.
Okay. And you need a new profile picture of you standing in some fresh corn. Make it knee high by the 4th of July.
That's soybeans I'm standing in.
Oh,
That's
it
from a few
is?
years back.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we can fix you up with a different picture.
Okay. And we'll look for you at Farmers Market this year.
Oh, we'll be there.
All right. And we, as long as we live, the more we learn, right?
All right.
And I have learned, this is brought to you by the Iowa State University Extension and Outreach. You get to find out what we've learned. And I've learned that there's no substitute for paying attention. Whew, that's the truth.
Hey.
I found that out a few times.
Okay.
What have you learned?
Hey, I've learned to not worry about things I can't control.
That's right.
Good
That's
idea.
a good one, right?
All
Gotta
right.
let it go. Should be
Yes.
off your mind and just let it go.
For sure.
Until next week. Keep doing more stuff of what makes you awesome, like Grant Veeder
And like
Mike
Mike
Cook,
Cook, yes,
because it makes
us all look
good. See you next week. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us.